What's going on? What's going on? We're here to give my prediction for the Teofimo Lopez versus Jamaine Ortiz fight that is supposed to take place February the 8th, I believe. Strange thing about it is BoxRec doesn't even have the fight up there yet. It's not even listed. Something else that I found strange on BoxRec is uh, I look back at Teofimo Lopez's last three fights, and it says the fight between him and Pedro Campa was for the vacant WBO belt. And I'm like, how? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at two different things, and it says WBO International. I think what that was that interim belt, was that belt for them to, when Pedro Campa was fighting for that interim, so to give a chance. I guess it was a shot to get to the Josh Taylor fight. I think that's probably what it was. But then you got the Sandor Martin fight right here. I guess out of Tio and Sandor, they was gonna get a shot at Josh Taylor, whoever it was. So obviously it was Tio who won. So I had to look at the international. I'm like, what do you mean WBO title? He won that from Josh Taylor. I had to look at it again. It said international super light. This was world super light. It was like, okay, too many goddamn belts, man. But anyway, let's get to the prediction, man, for this fight. So, I go by the three fights back rule, and lots of times when I look at the two opponents' last three fights, I can kind of gauge a little bit better how I think they're gonna perform against each other. That's how I come up with my winner. That's what I use to do my bets. Um, I did that with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Even though I didn't have to do that with that fight because I already knew Bud had the better skill set, I still employed that, and it won me some money. Just put it like that. I was happy as hell that night, bro. But let's get into it, man. So Teofimo Lopez, tail of the tape, man. He stands at 19 wins, 1 loss, 13 wins by knockout. He has a 68% knockout ratio. 26 years old, 5'8", and he has a 68.5-inch arm reach. He's the current WBO World Super Lightweight Champion of the world, down at 140 pounds. His only loss came at the hands of George Kambosos. Right? So, Tio is explosive. I mean, listen, man, I'm not really fond of his character, but the dude is very exciting to watch in the ring. I give Teofimo Lopez his respect in the ring. Very exciting to watch. He's a dog. He's not a quitter. Um, I enjoy watching T.O. fight. Even Tank. I even enjoy, I'm not really fond of Tank the way he moving, but I still enjoy watching Tank Davis fight. I enjoy Tank fights, Devin, Teofimo. I don't like Ryan Garcia as much. He's not really spectacular to me like that. But a lot of these younger dudes, I enjoy their fights, man. I enjoy watching them fight. With a select few. I even like Rolly fights, man. But anyway, T.O. very explosive, great footwork, good, decent power, good punching power, great counter puncher, good defense. He moves his head, he bobs and weaves. T.O. is a good fighter, man. Very good fighter. So now let's go to Jamaine Ortiz. He's at, they got similar records. 17 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. That 1 loss came at the hands of Vasil Lomachenko. He only has 8 KOs, so he has a 47% knockout ratio. Jamaine Ortiz is not really known as a big puncher. All right, he stands at 5'8" with a 69-inch arm reach. All right, so Teofimo Lopez and Jamaine Ortiz, their dimensions are similar. Jamaine Ortiz has the slight edge, just slightly, very slightly, in the arm reach, but you could even argue that they have the same arm reach, man. They're the same height. All right, so his draw came way back in 2021 against Joseph Adorno. All right, Jamaine Ortiz, he's a decent fighter, man. He's a switch hitter, great jab, decent speed. Only thing with Jamaine Ortiz, man, his flow, he doesn't move his head. He doesn't have the best defense. He seemed kind of flat-footed. He's more. I look at him like he can be if he wants to, like a pressure fighter, like a pressure boxer. He's not really a puncher, But the issues I see with him is he swells up a lot in his fights. He seems like he gasses out too towards the end of the fight as well. I noticed that a lot against Vasil Lomachenko. So let's go back to Teo's last 3 fights, man. Teofimo's last 3 fights. How did he do in those last 3 fights? His last fight was against Josh Taylor in 2023 of June. He absolutely smashed Josh Taylor, put on a masterful boxing clinic against Josh Taylor. Almost knocked him out, but didn't quite. But he put on an excellent performance against Josh Taylor. Teofimo Lopez fight, he struggled. He got knocked down in the 2nd round. This was back in 2022. He did manage to break Teofimo Lopez's nose in that fight, but Teofimo Lopez is that dude he's one of those dudes that'll spoil your party, bro. Like, he's one of those fighters that a lot of dudes probably gonna avoid him because they don't want him to spoil their party type shit. Not because they scared he gonna knock him out. He's one of those dudes that'll spoil shit for you, bro. He's like one of them type of fighters, just moving around. He's like a jackrabbit and shit. So those are the kind of fighters a lot of fighters don't like to fight. Believe it or not, them dudes give you the most nightmares, man. So he kind of struggled in this Sandor fight, but got the win anyway. Then his first fight at 140 was in 2022, early August. That was against Pedro Campa. He did very well in that fight. Sparked him, knocked him out in the 7th round. Dropped him a few times in the fight. Knocked him out in the 7th round. Did very good. Similar performance as the Josh Taylor, but he did much better, obviously, because he got the knockout. But he looked more sharper and more poised against Josh Taylor. All right. So all in all, in those last 3 fights, man, he did, out of those 3, he did very well in those 2 out of 3 fights. Jamaine Ortiz, his last 3 fights, his last fight was against Antonio Moran in 2023. Keep in mind, Antonio Moran was knocked out viciously by Devin Haney, I believe, in 2018. So he's a vet, man. And Jamaine Ortiz struggled against Antonio Moran. Remember, his eyes started acting up. It looked like he was swelling up. He was getting jabbed up. He was getting tired. He got the win, the unanimous, though. But he struggled in that fight. The Vasil Lomachenko fight, he struggled in that fight. Eyes got swollen. Wasn't moving his head. He was getting hit a lot. He got tired. He struggled and he lost. Then in summer of 2022, he fought Jamel Herring. Put on a great show against Herring. Did very good against Herring. That was a very good fight. Herring tried his best, but he hurt Herring a few times in that fight. No knockout or nothing like that, but he did his thing. So out of Jamaine Ortiz's last 3 fights, dude, he only did good in the Jamel Herring fight. The other 2, he struggled, to me, in my opinion. So if Teo struggled in 1 fight, Jamel Herring struggled in 2 fights. I'm just gonna say this, man. When you see these 2 get in the ring, Jamaine Ortiz, he's a switch hitter. That might cause a little bit of issues for Teo early on in the fight, maybe for the first 2. Teo's his IQ is way above Jamaine Ortiz, man. So I see it going. Teo playing around with him for the duration of the fight. Jamaine Ortiz probably around the 4th, 5th round. You're gonna start seeing Teo just countering him, catching him with right hooks, flustering him, making Jamaine Ortiz miss because Teo has great head movement. And I see Jamaine Ortiz getting a little tired towards the 6th round. And I see his eye closing up like it always does, starts to swell up. And I think this is gonna be his first knockout loss. I got Teofimo Lopez knocking out Jamaine Ortiz. I say like the 9th round, 10th round. Those are my magic rounds. So I got him knocking him out 9th and 10th round. I would say more so ninth round. I'm gonna give this a ninth round knockout for Teofimo Lopez. Jamaine Ortiz, he don't have head movement. He don't have the defense. He's too slow. He's too slow enough. Got decent speed, but his jab is good. That's all he really got going for him, I think, is his jab against Teo. He don't have the power to keep Teo away from him. If he had the better feet and the better head movement, I would say, okay, he got a good chance of outboxing Teo, but he don't have any of those things, in my opinion. So, unfortunately, this is not going to go the distance. This is going to be Jamaine Ortiz's first knockout loss. And you heard it here. Prediction, Teofimo Lopez by knockout, ninth round. This is Rebel Life Boxing. Let me know what you think. I'll catch y'all on the next one. And I'm out.